What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to a Kids Table episode. Reddit on Wiki starts right now.
Get therapy.
I'm not reading.
Get therapy.
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? It's another Am I the Asshole Friday episode. I'm your host today, Josh, joined with my one co-host today, Sean. What's up, buddy?
Hello. I'm interested in what a Kids Table episode is.
We're just the youngest people at the table.
Oh, that's right. John's old ass isn't here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The dad is gone and the kids are home alone. That's kind of what it means.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He won't hear this, so that's fine, right?
He might. He
does actually listen.
He does
Doesn't
listen,
he?
yeah. Or at least Juliet does for sure. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, how's it going, Sean?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Can't complain. A lot of celebratory Venmos, and I just got to say you're welcome.
Oh, for the Eagles. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Excited for that on Monday. Have you been watching the Four Nation Face-Off in hockey? I already know the answer, but
Okay, so I got one clip made it to my sports friend group's chat.
okay.
And it was, I believe, America versus Canada, 3 fights in the first however many.
9 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So is that just strictly because of Trump or what? What happened there?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, it's obviously a very politically charged game.
Oh, for sure. I can imagine. Not that it's any of, well, I mean, it could be some of those players' faults. They could be some Trumpers on there. I don't know.
Definitely. Definitely on that team. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been like a politically charged thing where the first 3 games were played in Montreal, and every American game they booed the anthem.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're upset about that, read the news, understand a little bit why Canadians might be upset. Yeah, so it was a very, very politically charged first game we've played against the Americans in 9 years or something like that. So it's been...
I was sad to see that we won. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well,
I was kind of hoping y'all would pull through.
I mean, as this episode comes out, everyone knows, but rematch in the finals coming up because Canada just clocked their ticket to the finals. America already had. And so we get finals on Wednesday, I believe. So
I'm hoping for 5 fights in 9 fights in 4 seconds.
You know what? Could be. We've got a bunch of shitheads on our team. You guys got a bunch of shitheads on your team. It's going to happen, I think. So
the problem is I just, just having Trump as president, usually when people boo the anthem, I'm like when it's Olympic time, I'm like, oh yeah, boo us. I want it that way we could fucking dominate.
You want to be,
but now
you want to be booed because you're the best. You don't want to be booed because you're fucking everyone over. That's kind of what it is.
This one feels different. I'm like, I gotta want us to lose if I'm being quite honest.
You know what? If war breaks out, I might switch sides.
In a heartbeat, guys.
Yeah, and as Canadians, we would hope some would help us as well in that.
God.
But anyway, on to cheerier topics, Sean.
Oh yeah.
Not that hockey isn't fun, but less politically charged topics. We got some asshole stories today.
Ooh.
Just you defining whether this person's an asshole. So,
wow.
We don't have a third person to break
I can't
ties.
lose. I will say before we hop in, Reddit on wikishop.com, Reddit on wikishop.com. We still have the beauty of the Gaycation merch available.
Yes.
And again, half of the proceeds will go to the Trevor Project. So in addition to having some sweet merch that Josh himself designed, you'll also get to be a good person by donating to a good cause. So make sure you do that at redditonwikishop.com.
Yes.
Yes, this is an ad. Sorry, patrons and YouTube members.
Patrons love the merch, so it's okay.
Okay.
But yes, I believe we raised, last time I checked anyway, it's been a few days. We raised over $400 so far for the Trevor Project.
Yeah, look at you, Wikimaniacs.
Yeah. So, you got another week and a bit before Sean takes it off the shop. So go check that out once again. Good call out, Sean. And if you don't want to buy merch but want to support us, you can subscribe to Patreon, YouTube member, or just give us a like. We appreciate that as well.
Oh yeah. Or just donate directly to the Trevor Project.
Or yeah, that too, actually.
That's also a good idea.
Skip the middleman if you want to.
Yeah. But I'd prefer you didn't, if I'm being quite honest.
All right, let's hop into the first story here, Sean. Cross posted by the goat Strawberry Bunny.
Oh yeah, it's Strawberry Bunny, and I feel like this is the person where every time I'm like, they're climbing up the ranks.
Yes.
They're about to be a good. Okay, yeah,
And they have 2 stories today, so proven goat.
yeah, just cemented.
Yeah. In John and mine's mind, cemented a while ago, but in your mind,
Really?
today. All right, so this one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Expecting My Daughter to Do Chores?
I mean, I was expected to.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good way to teach your child, how to be their own person,
I
do their
agree.
own chores.
I think chores in general are a good thing.
Are
you know what
good.
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, sometimes there are those parents that give money for chores. That's getting not a parent. I don't know how people feel about that, but that's sick. I never got money.
Yeah, it's like an allowance. I got an allowance when I was a kid.
Yeah. I think that's, I mean, you got to teach them. If you're not teaching them, it's wild to just expect things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's good for developmental things and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Not that we're parents or
Again?
professionals,
Not parents or professionals.
but the concept is good. So
Seems good.
what are you leaning towards?
I'll go not the asshole here.
All right. So let's hop into it here. I, 50 male, lost my wife 10 years ago. It's just me and my 2 kids, N, 17 male, and E, 15 female. Recently, I caused a big stink with some family that my daughter does chores, but my son does not.
I'm wrong. Immediately, I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. I explained it's because I have to spend extra on my daughter each month, not only for her extracurriculars, but her monthly supplies. So it's a way.
You bastards. You bastard.
Yeah. So it's my way of having her pay me back. She cleans the shared living spaces and bathrooms in our apartment and cooks 4 meals a week. My brother said I spend twice as much on my son's curriculars, and by my logic, he should have to do chores too. I explained he didn't because I feel it could help him get into college, but hers were more just hobbies, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck kind of dad is this?
A misogynistic one?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
the fuck? You I mean, you didn't even list the extracurriculars.
Well, he does later on in an edit,
Okay.
but I'm going to be
Can't
honest.
wait.
That's not the point of extracurriculars, I think, as a child. It's not like
Yeah.
these are going to get you into college. It's like, no, these are what they're to help, branch
Also,
out and meet
The
new people.
notion of your kids having to pay you back for anything,
Also gross.
bad, bad father, I think. You are doing your job as a parent by providing for them.
Yes.
Maybe once they're, old enough and you're trying to get them to move out, maybe you could be like, oh yeah, you got to pay me for this or pay me for that because you're a working adult. They are children in school still.
Yes. 15.
Yeah. So this is bad, brother. At first, whenever you're like, oh yeah, the family's mad that I make the kids do chores, I was like, okay, yeah, they're tripping. And then you're like, yeah, and by kids, I mean just my daughter.
The one. And by chores, I mean make more than half the meals a week. It's like, okay, what the fuck?
What is going on?
So E overheard me saying this and was very upset. She started refusing to do chores because it isn't fair. I told her she should still be doing her chores and life isn't fair, so stop being a brat, or I'd refuse to pay for her extracurricular stuff or pads. So just neglecting to do your duty as a father.
And this is why it's important. I see a lot of Trumpers and et cetera, like wanting to take pads and tampons out of bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'm like, why, guys? Why are we just making it more difficult for people that are already having a difficult time,
This might be socialist of me. Some people are going to fucking hate it, but I think it should be free.
Honestly, yes.
It's an expense I don't have to pay for. So why should I expect other people to pay for it? I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I wouldn't actually do that, but I was mad when I said it. She packed a bag and took off.
Hell yeah.
She's been staying with my sister, who called me an abusive asshole when I demanded she send E home.
Yep.
My brother and sister are coddling her, and I'm furious. N said I'm being an asshole to E, and that's why she left. I'm completely fed up with the whole thing. So am I the asshole for expecting her to do chores?
Wrong right off the bat, John. I miss you, brother. Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, we got into it, and then I assume there's an update.
There's a little bit of an edit to clarify, like what the. Do you want me? I'll just hop into that.
Yeah,
Actually
go ahead.
first.
Let's do it.
So edit to add. My son plays football and baseball, while my daughter is in choir and dance group. So yes, I do think my son has a better chance of getting a scholarship. I'm not sexist, and I don't appreciate being called one. And for those of you messaging me saying you hope someone calls CPS on me, I'm not doing anything wrong, so that's just stupid.
God, I am so confused that people post to Reddit on "Am I the asshole?" already with just I'm dead set in my ways, and nothing you tell me is gonna matter
I'm
at
not
all.
changing, no matter
I'm not
what.
changing. I'm set in stone, brother.
Why ask?
Then why post? why make this post asking if you're the asshole when no matter what we say, you're not gonna give a shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But yeah, man, should somebody give him the chances of people that make it into the NFL or MLB, or in fact just college with a scholarship?
Yeah, honestly.
Also, they give out scholarships for choir and dance.
Yes. Also, things that you can get a job in as well later down the line.
yeah.
So if that's the only thing he's concerned about, it's like, yeah, those are job opportunities later on.
Honestly, the scholarship thing is, and I think if you look deep down and take a long, hard look in the mirror, are just reasons for you to voice your fucking misogyny.
Yeah.
I was looking for the word. Thank you, Josh.
I got you.
Yeah, because you deep down know you're an ass. I think you deep down know that the scholarship is not the reason why you're being a misogynist. You're just a misogynist, brother. I mean, even when you're like, and I'm not sexist, so don't even say that. Everyone seems to agree here, family included,
Yeah.
Reddit included. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't imagine football pads being any cheaper than pads.
Yep. Way less, actually, I think.
Yeah, way less. So it's just, I don't know. And then I don't know. As much as I love football, I don't know if I'd let my kid play any position but kicker.
Yeah.
Punter maybe. Long snapper even. There's 3 positions I'd let my kid play in football. But yeah, none of them involve tackling. I don't know. That's a whole different discussion. But
Yeah. I'm going to say like soccer would be my go-to, or baseball. It's like less chance of head contact. You know what I mean?
more money.
And more
Baseball
money.
makes
Yes.
so much money.
And soccer, dude.
And soccer, yeah.
Messi got $1 billion like contract basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his retirement contract. That's
he's
insane.
not even at his prime anymore.
No,
guys.
very old. So yeah, definitely the sports to get into over football. But
Over football, as much as I love watching. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's not a lot of advice. There's not a lot of discussion. There's not much to say besides this guy sucks. He's an asshole. And it seems like everyone around him knows. It's wild that the brother isn't defending his sister.
Well,
he's like, this is sweet.
that's what I was going to say. Right at the end, he's like, N said I was being an asshole to E. So even his son is like, yeah, you're being an ass. Like, listen, is the son doing enough? Probably not. But it's also potentially an abusive household. So I don't know if he wants to speak up. You know what I mean?
Because I'd be eating those 4 meals a week being like,
I feel bad.
This is kind of, this sucks a little bit for you, dude. You got to come right here after dance practice, cook us a fucking meal.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Why isn't dad doing this shit?
Yeah, I think the son potentially could be an asshole, but at least he is standing up for her at the end there. So yeah, I'm optimistic about him. I'm just unsure of what to
And
call.
kudos to your sister and her partner, right? Is that who it is? Or is it his brother and partner?
Brother and sister.
Oh, just brother and sister.
Yeah.
Just both siblings fucking on your ass for it. But for letting them stay taking care of E. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually,
kudos.
She's better off there, to be honest. So
honestly, just leave her there.
Yeah. Reddit deemed asshole, of course, if you can tell by the edit.
Yeah.
And JJOXOX said, wow, what a piece of shit dad. I hope she stays with her aunt and uncle for good. Refusing to buy your daughter personal hygienes for her period is insane. I can't imagine how his son is going to treat his future partner and child. Which is, yeah, I mean, you're giving both your kids bad like examples when they grow up. A lot of people thought this could be a fake post as well. And then the edit, a lot of people were like, well, that edit actually seems pretty realistic. So
Pretty real.
Not great hopes that it's just a rage bait one, but
I was looking for stories for my episode next week. There's one where I read it and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. And then I read the update and I was like, oh, this is fucking fake. This is fake as fuck. This is crazy.
You know what? I think this might be controversial. I don't hate the fake ones. You know,
I
what
don't
mean?
hate the fake ones unless they're just
Blatantly
so
fake. Yeah,
blatantly fake.
that's fair.
I'm like, they talked about, serious topics in like a weird way. And I was like,
That's gross. Yeah.
feels weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, this is an entertainment product. It's for
Yeah,
our entertainment, either negatively or positively.
for sure.
Yeah. So if it's fake,
Look, I love pro wrestling. Who am I to say?
true, exactly. The NFL, you love that shit.
Love that shit. Fucking
It's
fake.
rigged.
It's fucking fake.
That's the only conspiracy theory I get behind.
I mean, sports betting, it's too powerful. There's
True.
no way that
That's true.
Vegas is always right most of the time.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one here. Cross posted by I think a new one, like a new user, Stormbreaker021.
Ooh.
And this is titled, Am I the Asshole for Accepting a Bonus and Then Quitting?
Hell no. What?
I wish
They offered.
I wish John was here for this one. I think
Yeah,
he would get,
this is a John story for sure. He's rubbing his hands like Birdman hearing this shit.
It's like he's probably done this. This might be John.
He was like, now that I don't have a corporate job, I could say this shit.
Yeah. I had someone at one of my the first like quote unquote grown up job I had out of college. Someone did something similar where they basically offered him a raise, but he was like already on the way out, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take the money for the last 2 weeks, but I'm gone."
Of course. Of course.
Oh fuck! All right, so I worked for a company as an engineer. I originally told the owner that I expected $35 an hour, which was the average for my position at the time. I ended up agreeing to work for $24 an hour to work my way up as I proved myself. And in brackets, yes, that was naive. After 2 years, they have bumped my pay to $26 an hour. Keep in mind, he wanted 35 originally. That's so much less. I brought up my expected pay from way back when, but I was told to keep working for it. Now, another company has offered me a job for about $54 an hour and better benefits.
Ooh.
Literally double. That's
Easy.
insane. I had planned to accept the offer and had my final interview set up where I was going to give my answer. The day I was supposed to give my answer, the owner brought me into a meeting which had a lot of higher ups. He and the other managers congratulated me on the hard work, said I finally qualified for the bonus program, and then gave me a $5,000 bonus check,
Oh,
which is still way less than you were owed.
wildly underpaid.
Like I'm terrible at math, famously, but you've been getting underpaid like $10 an hour, what you expected for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's so much more than $5,000.
Yeah.
The kudos and the bonus were nice, but I had been expecting a certain pay for 2 years. I had gone above and beyond my duties. The average for my position had gone up in that time, and I was very open with my boss about that. I took the bonus, accepted the new job offer, and told my manager the next day. I was told that I shouldn't have accepted that bonus and it was immoral. From my point of view, the bonus is a thank you for all my hard work, not a bribe to keep me on.
Yeah.
So, should I have accepted the bonus, and am I the asshole?
Accept the bonus. Yes. Are you the asshole? Definitely not. Like you said, he was being wildly underpaid for 2 years. They throw him a last second bone, $5,000, which again is still not enough.
Yeah.
Not covering what, you've been expecting. So yeah, fuck him. You already got your new job. Fuck him. Take all the money you can from him.
Yeah, I agree. And what he said at the end there is like, a bonus is like, for what you've previously done. It's not for like you're not getting that going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They didn't even give you a raise at the
Yeah,
end. They just gave you a $5,000. Use your bonus.
You're still losing money. Like you would make that $5,000 in a couple weeks work at the new job.
If somebody got got their Christmas bonus and then quit during the new year, people wouldn't be like, "Oh,
No.
what the fuck?"
That's actually a very famous, like people do that. They get their bonus. That's what I did at that job. That's the same job. I got my Christmas bonus and then quit like a couple weeks later.
Exactly.
It was a shitty job. So, yeah, no, you're not the asshole. Yeah, I a little naive at the beginning, just being like, yeah, I'll get bumped up $11 an hour. Corporate America is not usually going to do that. I'm going to be honest. You're, and John would give this advice too. Always be looking for other opportunities somewhere else because to move up in a company is much harder than it used to be, and you're not going to make as much as you would hopping from company to company.
Yeah, companies pay people more, pay new hires more than internal hires.
Yes,
for whatever reason, I still don't understand it.
Because companies now don't give a shit about loyalty,
retaining. Yeah,
which doesn't make sense because it costs them more to hire people on
and then to train them.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't make any sense. I mean, who am I to, I don't own. Well, I mean, I guess technically we own a business. We don't hire anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know the ins and outs yet, but
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe someday. But Reddit deemed not the asshole, of course. And Silicon Dolly said, quitting after bonus time is a time-honored tradition. If you're looking for work, figure out the bonus cycles of your top contenders and check their career websites 4 to 6 weeks after bonus payouts. So that's a smart play if you're looking to move into one of those companies. It's like
because those people are quitting.
A lot of people from those companies are quitting, so there will be job openings in a few weeks. That's smart.
Down notes.
All right, Sean, let's hit the next story here. Cross-posted once again by Strawberry Bunny.
Always been a goat. Never said anything other than that.
And this one comes with an update here. But it's titled, Am I the Asshole for Blowing Up at My Sick Husband When He Asked for Help with Our Toddler?
Nah, I'm gonna say this is the first time he's fucking held that child in his hands. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's a shitty dad.
Okay.
So I'll say not the asshole. Also, by sick, he probably has like a cold or some shit.
Right. Has the classic, what's it called? Guy cold or whatever, man cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like guys just take being sick much less gracefully than women.
On average, potentially.
On average, I mean, me, again, did not get a headache until 25, 26. Was just like, yeah, I think I may be dying. I think this is an aneurysm.
I think the worst I've been was when I had COVID a couple of years ago.
Oh, man. Every time, well, no. The first time I got COVID was bad. The second time I was like, oh, this is sick.
Oh, second time, yeah, it was like just.
I love this shit.
It's like just like a cold.
Yeah, it's a cold and I'm off of work for 2 weeks. This is crazy.
I was self-employed by then, so I didn't get that.
Oh, okay.
But the first one I got off a couple of days. That was nice. But I was also dying. So it's not fun. All right. So I plan on sending this post to my husband once the verdict is in, whichever way it goes. So I'll add as much of his perspective as I can. So love that.
Excited for the update.
Our toddler was sick through the weekend. I was up with him one night from 12:15 to 2:45 a.m. and off and on the next night. I probably got 10 to 12 hours of broken sleep the whole weekend. Yesterday, my husband mentioned he was starting to feel a little sick. Last night, I went to bed early, hoping to catch up on rest. All throughout the night, my husband woke me up way more often than my toddler ever does, even on a bad night. Some of the times were not directly his fault, but other times I felt he was being inconsiderate. And then she gives a list of 7 things, which I will say, some are definitely just like normal cold things, or like, and then other things are like, that's pretty fucked up. I'll let you deduce which ones I think they are.
Okay.
So number 1, he snored loudly in my ear. I mean, fairly normal, I guess. Like,
give him some mouth tape.
Yeah, shitty, but also expected. Number 2, He asked for another blanket because he had chills. I told him it was at the foot of the bed. He asked for help and reminded me that he helps me when I'm sick and that he'd still do the morning routine with our son. I mean, you have a cold, you can reach down and grab a blanket.
Yeah.
That's something I've done many
I don't know at the foot of your bed. Do you really need that much help?
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. Unless you got like a California king.
Even then, it's not far. It was like packed in the basement, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Number 3, he had a nightmare and I had to shake him awake from it. In brackets, she puts, this is normal. Number 4, he whispered to Alexa to ask for the time.
Wait, that just pissed her off? That
I mean, that is that not crazy to you? That's crazy to me.
Wait, why?
To ask Alexa for the time. Doesn't she talk then? And be like,
oh, wait, this is the way she's woken up?
Yeah, him asking Alexa for the time.
Oh, yeah, that is wild.
And then
I thought
Alexa,
this was, my bad. I completely forgot what this list was for.
Oh, yeah.
That to wake up to that is crazy.
Yeah, that's
just
insane.
Look at your phone.
Number 5, he asked for another blanket and I gave him mine. Number 6, he made a phone call in bed and left a full volume voicemail to his work to let them know he'd take the sick day. This is all before 5:30, by the way.
Are you on speaker?
At 5:30 in the morning, he woke up to ask me if I could do the wake up routine with our son. I do bedtime and he does wake up. So that's the list.
Okay. And this is all one night again.
All one night, yeah. So like I said, some of them normal things, other things I'm like, that's pretty inconsiderate.
Yeah.
At this point, I blew up. I expressed how mad I was that he woke me up all night long and how I now have to wake up early to do what he said he'd still do, and I don't get to stay home and catch up on sleep. He said I was in the wrong because marriage is in sickness and in health. I immediately got up to get ready. He said I didn't have to start getting ready so early. I said yes, I did because I start work at 7:30. I barely make it to work on time when I wake up at 6, and now I have to unexpectedly skip my shower, get my toddler ready, get his food ready for the day, feed him breakfast, drop him off at daycare, then take myself to work. I said he was a grown man with a cold and he robbed me of the rest I needed and that I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. At that point, I asked for space and we haven't talked since. I was late for work, which was a big deal at my job. I might be the asshole for blowing up at my husband when he asked for support during an unexpected illness. So am I the asshole for being mad at my sick husband?
Yeah, I think he fucked up a lot that night. I mean, unless this is happening a lot, like every time he's sick, I don't know if I would have blown up personally.
Okay, that's fair.
Just, shit happens, he was a real piece of shit for one night, but it's not like he did anything insane to me.
Right. Okay, that's fair. I will say she is also operating off of 3 also broken up nights. You know what I mean? Like, she had a sick toddler she was taking care of the previous. So she is very sleep deprived, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So I am willing to give her the grace, I guess. She's also not probably at 100%, I would imagine.
That's fair.
So yeah, I think I think he did some shitty
I think you're
things.
definitely okay to be mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're definitely okay to be mad. I think you're definitely okay to not have spoken since then. But I think this is I don't know. I think this would be an easy fix conversation whenever y'all are back.
I agree.
This is one of the minor infractions I think that we've had on this show. So
yeah,
like definitely not a fucking divorce for this. Yeah, I think, like you said, she's sleep deprived. He's also being a bitch because he's a man that's sick. And that's just on average kind of what happens. We're fucking bitches. So yeah, I mean, once y'all get some time away, I think this will be an easy talk to have. Yeah. It sucks being late, but I'm like, unexpected things come in marriage and parenthood. So you kind of got to be ready to roll with the punches. But I do get in the moment being like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, you told me you got this covered.
Yeah.
We talked about it last night. You said you got it. And then you fucking proceed to be annoying all night. Just the fucking worst. And yeah, so I mean, I can imagine being pissed off about it.
Yeah. Like for me, it's not the coughing or the snoring or anything like that. That probably woke her up as well. It's the like asking Alexa for the
Alexa.
time. Crazy. Because doing the phone call in like on full blast in bed. Also crazy.
You can't send a text.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Or at least get up, go to the bathroom, make the call there.
Yeah.
There's things you could do to avoid that, which is just inconsiderate to your partner. Even the blanket I'm willing to give grace on. I still think it's insane personally, but
no, he was being an insane person.
Yeah, he was being
That
insufferable
is-
for the first
yeah.
blanket one for sure.
The second blanket is crazy.
But yeah, like just not having that consideration for your partner, I think is a dick move. So you're right to be like, I think OP is right to be upset. Again, I think this is a conversation later. This is not divorce worthy, like you said.
Yeah.
This is just
Going
like,
forward, if I was OP, I'd be either forcing him to sleep in the guest bedroom, or I would voluntarily sleep in the guest bedroom going forward.
yeah,
On sick days, because I'm like, bitch, I can't stand your ass.
which that's what Sienna and I do. Whenever one of us starts getting sick, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go on the guest bed for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I also don't want to get sick, and then I also don't want to be woken up every night.
When Nancy first got COVID, I was like, just kiss me a lot. I want to get COVID too. I want to get that shit.
Get it over with.
let me stay in bed.
Yeah, but now it's like you don't even get to stay home, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now it's like, what? Who cares?
I will say Reddit said not the asshole,
Yeah.
which I think is where we landed.
Mhm.
That hella high hobbit said not the asshole. It's one thing if you slept all night and he was up all night sick and he woke you up and asked you to handle the morning routine. It's another when he willfully kept you awake, waking you up for extra blankets, asking for the time, and making a loud phone call is absolutely willful behavior from him. Your angry feelings are valid. If this is a one-time thing, when he's better, circle back and have a discussion. If this is a typical man flu cold behavior, he needs to stop it. Sleep deprivation is cruel. So yeah, I think that hit up many of the points we did. And then, like I said, there is an update. Most of it's like answering questions from like common questions from Redditors, which some of them were insane, so I left them out. The first one here is, why didn't you sleep in the guest room? And then they answer, we don't have one anymore. And then why didn't you sleep on the couch was the follow-up. And symptoms didn't hit hard until after we went to sleep, which is why we didn't initially sleep separately or change the morning arrangements the night before. So I think that's fair. You don't expect to be woken up a bunch of times. Why didn't you take the couch after the first few wake-ups? OP responds, I'm used to a few wake-ups. I wasn't expecting the next 5. Once I'm up physically, I'm mentally up. If I had gotten up from bed, it would have been difficult to go back to sleep at that point. Does he have sleep apnea? OP says, I've suggested to him in the past that he does, and he should do a sleep study. He hasn't yet, and I'm not going to make an appointment for him.
Do that shit, y'all. Y'all could die.
Yeah.
As someone that has friends with sleep apnea, or like, you know, in college, you know, sleepovers and shit like that, I would just hear some of my friends would be like, brother, I swear we lost you a couple times that night. You must have seen
saw
Jesus.
God.
Yeah. The fucking snoring. Silence for what seems like an eternity is fucking insane. I was like, dude, that's not normal.
And then some Redditors are saying snoring and nightmares aren't his fault, to which OP responds, I already said they weren't. The nightmares are regular for him. We sleep separately often because of them, per my request. We'll go months sleeping apart, but then he'll say he doesn't sleep well alone. And since we only have the couch as a separate sleep space, I often cave and let him sleep with me again. He doesn't let me take the couch. So that tells a little bit more of their, like, it seems like they have sleeping issues already, even before this. So
it's crazy that he's not getting a sleep test when it's a constant.
Yeah.
When it's like a fight kind of like that, where they've had to sleep apart for months. Months is wild.
That's a long time. I think the first week of me being on the couch, I'd be like, yeah, I should probably,
I guess I should
figure this
book
out.
that test, huh?
And then there's the update. So my husband saw the comments and guaranteed me uninterrupted sleep going forward. I again offered to sleep on the couch, but he insisted he take it and the baby monitor. As a compromise, we'll be sleeping separately on weeknights and together on weekends unless I need to catch up on sleep or if one of us is sick. After seeing all perspectives, including my husband's, I'll agree with an everyone sucks verdict, with me being 20% the asshole. I had a right to be mad, but I should not have blown up. He should be able.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too.
That's fair. He should be able to ask for help but within reason. I apologize for being snappy. He apologized for the wake ups. No divorce lawyers necessary.
Hell yeah.
So, a good ending at the end. I do think if he doesn't go and get his sleep fixed, that will constantly be a,
and then
contention.
at that point, I mean, honestly, with that news, I'm more because I was kind of with her at the end there, where it's kind of like 20-80. Like, yes, you should be mad. I probably would be mad. Nancy would probably be mad. But blowing up when it's already like a sticky situation, y'all just got to get through it, type of shit. But the fact that it's been a constant fight, now I'm kind of like maybe
5%
at most. Really, I was gonna go like 2 or 3%. Asshole, and then everything else him. 97, 98. I could do math. But yeah, I mean, I think if it's a constant source of fighting and months on end without sleeping, the fact that he hasn't got that tested or got nightmares, you can't figure that out.
Yeah,
snoring
gonna happen.
Snoring, I think, is a part of sleep apnea. You could throw that machine on and figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or even like you can get like, there are tons of different things snoring can be because of, and you can get a lot of them, fixed, and it helps you as well as your partner. Does mouth tape stop somebody from snoring? Well, it depends on what it is, right? It can help.
Because I imagine it'd be hard to
sleep with it. Well, usually
to do the action of opening your mouth and letting out that sound, letting out a snore. You know what I mean?
It definitely stifles it at the most, or at the least, I guess. But yeah, it can be caused from like broken nose or like deviated septums or whatever. There's tons of different reasons it could be. But he should get it checked out and
deviated septums remind me of Jake and Amir. I don't know. He says something like, I have a deviated septum for this kind of shit.
A nose whistle. Oh, fuck. I got to rewatch all those now.
It's so good. It's so dumb. I honestly don't expect anybody to like it. It's honestly shocking that we're both fans. And
yeah. I mean, it was like high school level. That's when we were into it, probably.
I listened to their podcast recently, and it's they just play like segments, and they played just a whole segment of trying to guess the same number between 1 and 100. And it was an hour of that. And
we're trying too hard.
Their whole fan base was like, that was the worst podcast I've ever heard. And then the next episode, they were like, that's insane. We'll never do it again, but let's just try and get a quick one in just to get it in. And they spent a whole nother episode doing it. I was like, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I laughed. It's enjoyable.
I respect it. The first one is annoying. Second one, that's comedy genius.
Yeah. A full 2 hours of trying to guess the same number.
All right, quick. 1, 2, 3, 52. Oh, we were close.
Now we have to keep going. We're so close. And that's what it was for an hour. It's insane.
All right, let's move on to the next one before we start getting caught in a loop of guessing each other's numbers. This one was posted by Shadus2379. And the title is, Am I the asshole for not listening to my wife and eating the wrong cookie?
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely.
As someone whose wife is dangerously defensive of her snacks, it's a problem for me.
I mean, some people just look forward to that one snack, that one cookie all day. And I'm like, oh man, I can't fucking wait. It's been in my plans.
And then you get home and it's not there.
And then fucking gone.
Fists can fly. No. But yeah, I would say also asshole, just reading the title.
Yeah.
All right. So I worked a 10-hour shift yesterday and had
not an excuse.
Had little to eat but bubblegum and some cheap hot chocolate. I came home to a voice message whereas my wife had picked up a cookie for me from the local bakery and another specific cookie for her younger daughter, which she could have when she came home from school. Overjoyed, partially because I was hungry and partially because my wife and I had been at odds for a bit, And I thought perhaps this was
Oh, brother, that's tough to hear knowing how this goes.
that's not a good end result. And I thought perhaps this was an olive branch of sorts. I looked into the cookie box. One of the 2 cookies inside was definitely one for my daughter due to his description, so I ate the other one. It wasn't quite what she said it would be, but I didn't want to be too picky.
That's terrible. You didn't even enjoy it.
It's like
You didn't even enjoy the cookie that led to this fight.
well, it sounds like she described a different cookie, and he ate it and was like, "Well, that's not what she described." Anyways,
fuck.
a few hours later, my wife pours herself a glass of milk after dinner and goes into the cookie box. She mutters something under her breath, pours her milk back into the jug, flops back down on the couch. I asked her what the matter was, and she informed me that I never listened and I ate her cookie. I told her that I'd only eaten the other cookie in the box that wasn't our daughter's, and my wife let me know that my cookie was separate in a bag under the cookie box, and that I should have listened better and that she wasn't surprised.
Damn.
Damn. I asked her what kind of cookie I had eaten, and I told her I'd go out to buy another one. She refused to tell me and merely repeated that I should have known that wasn't my cookie based on her description. The cookie I ate was white and had some kind of brown icing on it. Apparently, she had bought me some sort of toffee chocolate chip cookie. So am I the asshole for not paying attention and eating the wrong cookie, or is she blowing this out of proportion?
No. You are the asshole.
Yes.
You are correct in the assumption. The fact that she told you a whole separate thing, not even describing the cookie, but just telling you exactly where it was and that it was in a separate bag, and you forgot that part, I guess. Tough. Tough.
Also, her reaction to it tells me that this is not the first time.
Yes, this is a frequent occurrence,
yes,
unfortunately. And the fact that you guys were at odds too. Honestly, if it wasn't the cookie exactly described to me and I was already kind of in a fighting situation with my partner, I'd be like, I'm going to just wait to share this cookie with my partner.
Yeah.
In fact, you just got off a 10-hour shift. Get a fucking fast food burger, brother. You need more than a cookie.
Yeah.
A cookie should not be your sustenance. You should get your meal elsewhere. And then, thank your partner by sharing that cookie. I don't know. Me and Nancy love like
eating desserts
sharing
together.
treats, eating together.
Same.
You know what I mean? So it's just like my natural instinct would have been like, okay, she got me a cookie. I'll eat with her and her daughter later.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab me a fucking patty melt from Whataburger or some shit.
Which you would have done anyway. So,
yes. So, yeah, I don't know. It's when you get specific instructions and you're already kind of in a fighting thing, you got to and it sounds like the fighting thing is probably due to you fucking not listening.
Yeah.
So, really, you got to be on your best behavior. You got to be at the top of your game. And it sounds like you truly just didn't care. You're trying to do that 10-hour shift at the beginning there to try and make an excuse for yourself. Not an excuse, brother.
No, because
lots of people are working long hours.
Yeah, your wife's probably
lots
working.
Of people working double jobs.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, man. Grab some food elsewhere, eat the cookie later, or at least take a picture and be like, hey, this isn't what you described.
And then she could be like, yes, I told you where it is under the box.
You're like, well, I'm glad I didn't eat it because it could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. I agree with everything you said. I think it's just insane to like, clearly she told you exactly where it was and what it was. And then you just went, not going to listen to that. And then jumped into the box.
Didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah. It was just like, this is what I expected.
That's not what I was thinking about. But who am I to complain?
Reddit deemed asshole, but there is an edit. Since it's come up a few times, I thought I'd add a bit of information. Yes, I do have a hard time paying attention. I have ADHD and I'm working on it. Yes, not eating all day is my fault. It was 2 days before payday. We had nothing in the house viable for me to take, and I had $1 worth of change in my cup holder, plus a pack of gum. I did what I could. No, she did not mention that my cookie was separate. She told me that my cookie was in our bread bag, which is a bag where we keep bread and other things we want to keep bugs and mice out of. So she did tell you it was in a different spot.
That is separate, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's not a box, so
far be it from us.
She described the cookie as a toffee chocolate chip cookie. I looked in the bag, found the box from the bakery, and it had 2 cookies in it. One of them was decorated like the night sky and is what she had said she had purchased for her daughter. There was only one other visible cookie. No, I can't prove this unless someone instructs me on how to download voice messages from Messenger and post them here. That didn't matter. Reddit still deemed asshole.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was important. Like, normally we have John on here who can give the ADHD perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
like,
would have been a good John episode with the work one and this one.
I really fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah, you really fucked this shit up, Josh. Like, I hate to tell you.
But so, and I know John doesn't speak for everyone with ADHD, but he does give a good perspective on it. So I picked a comment of someone who at least claims to have ADHD. Who knows I can't confirm if they do, but this is what someone said. So Eggy Olkbun said, you're the asshole for even thinking this is about the cookie. Seriously, man, I have ADHD too, and I get it. Sometimes half the messages just drop out when we listen to people. But here's the thing. That's not their problem. From what it sounds like, your wife is hella tired of this being a repeated problem. At some point, you just need to know you suck at listening and re-listen to that voicemail and make sure you are doing the correct thing. You knew well enough that this cookie description didn't fit, so why didn't you just pause to do an extra inspection? There were many points along the way of eating this cookie where you could have made another choice. But anyway, she's not mad at the cookie. She is mad because this is one of many instances where you fucked up because you didn't listen. Also, just as a bonus, if you know what the bakery is from, why do you have to ask your wife what kind you ate so you could just replace it? Go there, figure out based on how it looks, and ask an employee to help you based on how it tasted. Go out of your way to sincerely apologize to your wife and work on your listening skills. This is the bare minimum for fucking up, and I can't believe you still need her help to replace a white cookie with brown icing from the bakery.
A pretty specific cookie, I gotta say.
Also, do not expect her to instantly be chill after you replace the cookie. She will start to be chill when you sincerely work on improving your listening, and things like this will happen less frequently in the future. So I thought that was, great from someone who sounds like they've also had experience with not being able to comprehend something or just listen, which is fine. That is okay. But it is on you to also try. You know what I mean? You have to make the effort so that your partner knows that you were at least trying. And then, like you said afterwards, go to the bakery and get the cookie yourself.
The goddamn cookie. If you're not there the next day with 6 of those fucking brown icing cookies, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Also, the whole time that suggestion was going off, and I'm going to keep it brief. I won't go into deep description, but new girl. That's it. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
The new girl cookie scene.
Now I'm intrigued.
If you know, you know.
Gotta go check it out.
That's all I was thinking about.
But yeah, so Reddit deemed asshole, like I said. And I hope OP puts in the effort going forward and these things happen less often.
If that was the source of the fighting, you not listening, she should not be the one extending the olive branch. I'll say that too. It should be your ass.
Yeah, true.
What are you doing?
That's true.
I don't care if you just worked a fucking 24-hour shift. You need to be making it right because it's your fault.
Yes. I agree with that.
I feel like, we don't have ADHD, but John always says, you can't use your,
trauma or
that as an excuse. You know what I mean? Like everyone, there's thousands, millions of people going through that and they're not being assholes to their friends, family. So yeah, you make your own choices.
This is a complete hyperbole, but it's like people being like, yeah, Elon has autism. It's like, I know lots of autistic people and none of them have ever done the Nazi salute.
I'm yet to see someone give a Roman, whatever the fuck they're trying to say.
But yeah, that's it. Like, it's like, no, that's not the excuse for this.
Just like Kanye being fucking an insane anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, he's just fucking bipolar. Okay.
That's
and
yeah. So that'd be like saying, oh yeah, Hitler's bipolar, so it's fine. It's like, no,
obviously not.
Anyway, on to the last story here. Sent in by an anonymous listener. So they say, I have a situation I want to share with you guys and the Row listeners to see what others think, and figured it would offer maybe some different perspective outside of my personal circles. Please keep me anonymous, and I am not using anyone's real names.
Whoa, personal story.
Yeah. So This one is titled, Am I the asshole for taking a step back from a friendship because her boyfriend seems like a red flag?
No, I mean, I feel like I've seen this happen where like a friend starts dating somebody that the friend group doesn't particularly love.
Name, Sean.
No. And then they'll get into fights and then they'll go to you for advice and then you give advice and then they just get back with their partner and it happens over and over again. And then just naturally that kind of just happens where you distance yourself. And I think it's the same result. If you distance yourself right off the bat, being like, that person sucks. If that's who you're going to be around, I'm kind of out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
I think both times, it's the same result either way. It's fine, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, you don't want, John says this, you don't want toxic people in your life. And so
yeah,
if they are,
if one of my best friends started dating somebody that was
racist,
fucking Elon Musk light, I'd be like, dude, if they're around, I'm not. Also, I'm rethinking what I think about you. Honestly,
true.
That's what you're fucking with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because a person's partner says a lot about what they're willing to look past,
put up with.
Yeah, it's like, well, maybe we aren't.
Maybe
friends.
I don't know you as well as I think I did. Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. So I've been friends with my friend Stephanie since grade 7. We're now in our early 30s. We've had our ups and downs like any friendship, but the last 5 to 6 plus years, we've been really close. We used to do everything together. Trips, weekly, if not bi-weekly hangouts, you name it. We even had a small business venture together. I always felt like out of our friend group before, Stephanie and I shared the most similar interests and perspectives. Stephanie was my ride or die, my first call with good or bad news. Stephanie was in a relationship years back with an asshole who ended up cheating on her. I remember when they first started dating, we kind of stopped talking. No bad blood, but she hung out with his friend group more and more, and me and our other friend weren't a part of that. Throughout the past years, Stephanie has really struggled with being single. She would cry when she would get drunk about how the rest of us were in relationships, and she wasn't. She would go on dates with a few guys she met online, with a few being nice, it seemed, but she would always find a reason not to carry on with them. Stephanie emphasized she didn't like overly emotional men or guys who were too affectionate, which some of the guys seemed to be. Which, whatever, to each their own, she knows her type, and that's okay. 2 years ago, she matched with a guy named Steve. Steve lives in a small local town and is a bit older than us. He apparently is a workaholic, which she identifies with as well. At first, it seemed like Stephanie was happy with Steve. The relationship sounded primarily physical and not really anything with depth. But whatever, she's happy. Myself and the friend group were happy for her and supportive, especially given how much Stephanie wanted to be in a relationship and have someone to bring around our little squad. They apparently talked about getting engaged, married, having kids, and all that early on.
That happened fast.
Well, I mean, you're in your 30s. I imagine.
I guess, but from strictly no depth physical to, yeah, we talked about having kids.
That's fair. Because I've never dated in my 30s. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm open to the idea of being like, yeah, maybe you move faster in relationships when you're older because you know what you're looking for. You can have those mature conversations maybe a bit faster. So I'm just saying it's not openly a red flag.
No, yeah, it's not. Yeah. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
Because I feel like usually when you're dating, again, I've never dated in my 30s either, but I imagine like most of the stories are like, yeah, we date once and you kind of get the general vibe like, all right, this is going to be serious.
Yeah.
But I guess, things move quicker. Maybe it went from not serious to serious pretty quick.
Yeah, there's that potential. Before the 1 year mark of them seeing each other, she mentioned that she felt the honeymoon phase was over and was becoming annoyed with his family members. She mentioned how they never told one another that they love each other, and there would be times where Steve would drive through Stephanie's town and not see her, only to bring it up days later in a, yeah, I was there the other day conversation. So
that's annoying.
That's weird. I immediately was getting mixed signals. This dude wants to marry you, but won't even make the time to see you when he's driving through your town. What the fuck? Here's where things get weird. So Stephanie has her own house in one town and Steve has his own in another town. Stephanie hasn't had this house more than 5 years and was talking about moving into Steve's. The catch is Stephanie had pets. Steve hates cats and claims he's allergic. Now, realize how I said had pets. Stephanie gave up her 2 pets for Steve. Which I think in most scenarios, not great.
A kind of a red.
Yeah. The only times I've ever heard someone asking their partner to give up a pet, it was a red flag for sure. So,
I mean, I guess if you get an allergy test, but also Nancy was allergic to cats. We had 2 cats, and then she kind of just got rid of it.
Yeah.
She one time went to the doctor, got an allergy test, allergic to cats. Next time, no longer allergic to cats.
My mom's been allergic to dogs her whole life and has insisted on having a dog her whole life.
Yeah. So I feel like I definitely have friends that have pretty bad allergies. Like I'll have friends who say they have cat allergies. They'll come over and I'm watching them. I'm like, you haven't fucking sneezed once. You're fine. I think you've been lied to, brother.
Yeah. I will say
other friends who are fucking dying as soon as they come in, regardless of how well I've cleaned. So yeah, I feel like most times than not, especially with cats, I feel like people are just fucking have either
just don't like cats.
Yeah. Just say you don't like cats, I think.
Yeah.
You've been lied to.
Stephanie was extremely sad about this, and Steve was apparently not very supportive whatsoever.
That's crazy.
This has never sat well with me, even though the pets went to a good home, because he didn't even try to live with them, which I think is insane. That's the red flag for me.
Yeah.
He didn't even try. Like, at least if you make an attempt and it's like, yeah, you're swelling up, it's like, okay, at least you tried. But to not even try is crazy. Stephanie moves into Steve's, and he's apparently extremely particular about his place and how things are done. Stephanie told one of our friends Steve wouldn't even give her closet space when she moved in. I've recently seen Steve's house, and there's barely a trace that Stephanie lives there, other than her car being in the driveway.
Man, Steve must be a fucking master manipulator. He must have really fucking brainwashed your friend there. It's terrible.
I personally met Steve about 4 times. The first time he seemed okay. He made a comment about her pets being stupid, and Stephanie immediately began tearing up. The second time, he barely said anything to me and spoke to my partner the entire time, which, whatever. The third time, he came to my house and was off-putting and constantly asking Stephanie when they could go because he wasn't drinking. I've tried to be empathetic as my partner is also shy and quiet and thought, hey, maybe this is the case. I should add I have pets and Steve has been to my house and I didn't see an allergic reaction whatsoever.
You got to be careful with allergy stuff. Just because you don't see it.
You should be gung ho about that, Sean.
Yeah.
Fuck him. But now Stephanie's personality has begun to change. She seems way more irritated and negative all around. On one occasion, our friend was struggling with postpartum depression and was visibly having a breakdown in front of us, and Stephanie made no comment and instead played with our friend's kid. Things came to a head a few months ago when our friend confronted Stephanie regarding the concerns we had. Turns out Stephanie thought Steve and her were going to get engaged and married before having kids. Steve then dropped a bomb and said, no, I don't want to get engaged or married. Let's just have kids.
Oh my God. Has this man had one green flag this entire story?
That's what I've heard.
No redeeming qualities.
This has really upset Stephanie. Both our friend and I told Stephanie that she is giving up so much for Steve, and it doesn't seem like Steve is doing much in return. She's given up her pets, her house, which she still owns and is just sitting there, and now we barely see her. When we do see her, Stephanie doesn't speak highly of Steve or his family. Stephanie seems to have made her entire life about Steve, and he's just there making no effort with her friends or really anything that we can see. Stephanie broke down and said she would set boundaries, but then turned around and reframed the conversation to another friend about what went down. Now Stephanie is talking about nurseries and having kids with Steve as if it's going to happen sooner than later. I recently hung out with Stephanie one-on-one to see how it would be, and I left feeling indifferent about how things are with us. It went okay. I just didn't feel refreshed or happy as I have in the past with her or my other friends. I don't feel as though I can tell her how I feel either. Our dynamic just feels like it's changed. I've had to leave out details for length and keep things anonymous, but I'm wondering, am I the asshole for maybe taking a step back from a friendship because of her boyfriend?
I mean, much like, dating or marriage or whatever, you're allowed to get out of whatever relationship you want.
Yeah.
And like John says, you give people the same energy they give you. You cut toxic people out. I do fear, if this was me personally, I probably would have the talk. You say you feel like you can't have the talk or you don't care to have the talk. I probably would have the talk. Yeah, because at this point I'm leaving regardless.
Right.
I might as well just fucking give you something to think about. And even if you hate me for life, maybe you do dump Steve and you have a better life without both of us.
Yeah, true.
So that would be, there's a chance of that I'm going to go for that. Because obviously Steve is a real piece of shit. So I would be like, look, I'm going to give you the talk. What the fuck are you doing? You're fucking crazy. You haven't won one fucking thing with Steve. You've lost the pets. You've lost the house. You've lost the idea of marriage. All that shit. All the stuff that comes with marriage. All the stuff that comes with an engagement. For what?
Yeah.
For the guy that doesn't even want to stop by when he visits your town. Okay. You know what I mean? So I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, especially because I know I'm already on the edge of like, I'm cool if I never see her again. I would just fucking do it for their friends' own safety or whatever.
Yeah, I agree because you're leaving anyway. Like,
you might as well blow shit up.
Well, not blow shit up. I would go in a bit more empathetic and like, definitely with like blunt honesty, but empathetic that it is your friend, and just be like, hey, I don't think he's the guy. I've only heard bad things. Where's the
you
good?
Never once say anything good about this dude or his family.
Yeah. And she might also feel like this is sunk cost fallacy. She's already given up so much. She's just stuck.
You still own the house. You got the house.
Yeah, but she got rid of her pets, which is very sad and
tough.
But like, blunt honesty, I think is the best way to go with empathy. And hopefully she hears you out. If not, I think you're going to take a step.
Who cares? You're out anyway.
You're going to take a step back anyway because you don't want Steve in your life, understandably so.
Yeah, it sounds like a real piece of shit.
Yeah. So I don't blame you at all for doing that. And then hopefully Stephanie comes around and realizes how much she's given up and really reevaluate if it's worth it for Steve.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't sound like. So.
Not at all.
But let us know what you think, Wikimaniacs, about that one, because that is listener submitted. So it is one of you asking the question: are they the asshole? And provide some advice. Since they're a listener, they're probably reading. So they might take your advice. Who knows? All right, that is it, Wikimaniacs. What did you think of these stories? Were they assholes? Let us know down in the comments on YouTube, Discord, Spotify, or on our subreddit. We made this comment before, but I just want to clarify. Spotify video is not going to be available right now for us. We apologize for that, but we were looking into potentially bringing it back. We just ran into some hiccups that we will hopefully iron out. We'll keep you updated anyway.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. But if you do want to watch the videos, you can do so on YouTube, or you can do so on our Patreon. Patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network. You also get bonus episodes, bonus stories every Friday and Monday, as well as, sometimes we just do extra shit on there. But you can do that or go to our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button on our YouTube page. I think that's it. Right on wikishop.com. If you want to get some gaycation merch, half the proceeds go to Trevor Project, like we said at the top of the episode. Go get some cool merch and you're supporting a good cause.
Hell yeah.
With that, give us a like, subscribe, helps out the podcast. If you don't want to join Patreon or anything like that, that's a way to help us out as well. So we appreciate everyone who does that. I think we're going to probably hit 30,000 on YouTube around when this comes out. It'll be close. So
getting close to make my mom proud.
Yeah. 1 million.
70,000. Well, no, she wanted 1 million. We are far away, but we're getting close.
We will get there someday, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But that is it. Thank you, Sean, for coming on today. John will be back for next Am I the Asshole?
and I will have stories that have nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. We'll see you on Monday with a guest.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Get therapy.
I'm not ready.
Get therapy.